Humanity has succeeded in planting eyes in space, allowing us to watch what is going on outside in real time, even if we can't survive in space for very long. Some of the strange images captured by these cameras every now and then are beyond the comprehension of even the most seasoned astronomers. In this video, we demonstrate how top NASA researchers recently made a remarkable finding in response to a satellite's detection of strange behavior above our planet. What sort of object has NASA detected then? What are scientists' opinions on this? You will get to know this and plenty more as we dive into the details of today's show. However, before getting started with the video officially, here's a quick reminder that you can subscribe for free and like the video so that we can boost the algorithm. Comments are most welcomed. And ISS. One of the greatest achievements of humanity is the International Space Station ISS. Although it accomplishes many important tasks, one of its most intriguing features is its camera system. Given the types of things people commonly record, some of them might surprise you. The ISS, the largest spacecraft ever created by humans, required substantial construction. The main structure was completed between 1998 and 2011, although new additions are constantly being built to accommodate new missions and research. It has been inhabited continuously since November 2000. Who then owns the ISS? NASA, the most well-known space agency in the world, does not actually own the International Space Station. Japan, Canada, the United States, Russia, and Europe are all participating in the program. The ISS's maintenance is expensive. The space station costs NASA about $3 billion annually, or one-third of its budget for human space exploration. Russia, which sent 54 people there as opposed to the 158 that the US has sent, is another crucial friend. Without any extra tools, you can actually see the International Space Station, ISS, in the night sky due to its brightness. Its visibility is comparable to that of the lovely planet Venus. What precisely is the ISS made up of? The first Russian module houses the equipment necessary to run the station and give the crew a place to live. Nodes or modules are used to connect various station components. Images of the space station show solar arrays that spread out from its sides and utilize solar radiation to produce electricity. The temperature of the space station is controlled by radiators on the truss that join the arrays to the structure. The building was constructed using robotic arms that are outside the space station, but they can also be used to carry people on spacewalks. Science equipment is operated by other arms. Astronauts can perform spacewalks through airlocks that are open to the outside, and pictures of them floating in space are immensely popular since they seem otherworldly. Docking ports allow other spacecraft to dock with the space station. New crews and visitors enter through these ports, while robotic spacecraft deliver supplies through the docking port. Russian Soyuz spacecraft transport people to the space station. Even if you haven't thought about it, the ISS affects your daily routine. Due to the station's requirements, some scientific research can only be carried out there, and a sizable portion of that research has resulted in products that we use on Earth every day. As part of the CR3 mission, SpaceX launched 4 external cameras, which are now stationed on the ISS. The ISS's Columbus lab is fixed with these HDEV or high-definition video cameras. The 4 cameras are collectively referred to as Columbus's Eye. A live streaming service is operated by the University of Bonn in Germany. The university and the German Space Agency worked together to introduce the Columbus Eye program. Even though NASA gave COTS, or commercial off-the-shelf cameras, an official-sounding acronym, they essentially record live feeds like all other cameras do. 2 cameras are either facing backwards or forwards, one is gazing downward, and one is facing forward. They link through an Ethernet cable to the computer on board the International Space Station before beaming back to Earth. You can count on NASA to run an experiment using any tools scientists employed to gauge how quickly image quality degrades due to cosmic radiation exposure. Scientists measure the housing's strength as well as the housing's resistance to space radiation. The cameras are protected in a pressurized, temperature-controlled box. An evaluation of how they are holding up may inform the engineer's choice of the best types of cameras to use on upcoming missions. The broadcasts from these cameras are closely followed by many individuals, particularly amateur astronomers, because they are incredibly fascinating. But on rare occasions, the cameras catch something exciting. And on rare occasions, someone reports seeing something that suspiciously resembles a UFO or an unidentified flying object. When things get exciting, NASA frequently switches from live content to previously recorded material, confusing viewers and raising the suspicion that the space agency is withholding information from the general public. But what exactly is NASA hiding from us? Strange company. Astronomers are still fascinated by one of the sky's great shaggy dog mysteries that would describe the peculiar alien invader Oumuamua, which sped through the solar system in 2017. Comet from another star? Space iceberg? Alien wreck in space? Two astronomers from Arizona State University, Alan Jackson and Stephen Desch, offered the most solid explanation yet. Oumuamua was a chip off a faraway planet belonging to another star. Long ago, a collision with an asteroid broke it off and sent it careering through space. This research is exciting in that we've probably resolved the mystery of what Oumuamua is, and we can reasonably identify it as a chunk of an exopluto, a Pluto-like planet in another solar system, Dr. Desch said in a statement released by the American Geophysical Union. Until now, we've had no way to know if other solar systems have Pluto-like planets, but now we have seen a chunk of one pass by Earth. They announced the results at a meeting of the 52nd Lunar and Planetary Science Conference on March 17th, and in a pair of papers around the Journal of Geophysical Research, Planets. The operative words are probably resolved. Although astronomers agree that the new model could answer some questions about the mystery flyby, many more remain in motion. What makes Oumuamua both interesting and frustrating is that none of the theories are a slam dunk, said Gregory Lachlan, an astronomer at Yale who has studied Oumuamua. Astronomers in Hawaii patrolling for killer asteroids and other flashes in the night with the Pan-STARRS 1 telescope in Maui first spotted this mystery object speeding away from the sun at 50 miles per second on October 19, 2017. They called it Oumuamua, Hawaiian for scout or messenger, but what was the message? The object's trajectory suggested that it had left the solar system and was headed for outer space after making a quick pass through our solar system's inner planets. It had already passed Earth when it was discovered. The changes in its brightness led astronomers to the conclusion that it was a tumbling object that was no longer than it was wide. Because comets, which reside in far-off clouds and are easily detached from their home stars, could be the first interstellar visitor to our area, astronomers have long hypothesized that an orphan comet could be the cause. Oumuamua was initially thought to be a straying asteroid, since it lacked a tail and the gaseous cloud that forms around a comet nucleus. The idea of a reddish, cigar-shaped rock was popularized by an artist. Some astronomers have proposed that it might have a pancake-like shape. However, Oumuamua accelerated as it left the solar system. Comets frequently behave in this manner because the jets of evaporating gas on their surfaces give them a boost. Maybe it was a comet after all. Although a strange one, the products of Drs. Jackson and Desch are illustrated to resemble a cracker or perhaps a flying cow chip, with the discovery of 21 Borisov in 2018. Another extrastellar trespasser that behaved more like a typical comet. The mystery was further complicated. The literature was replete with theories and models. Avi Loeb, an astronomer at Harvard, wrote onto the bestseller list earlier this year with the book Extraterrestrial, The First Sign of Intelligent Life Beyond Earth, arguing that Oumuamua was an alien space vessel of some kind, and scolding the astronomical community for not thinking more outside the box about extraterrestrial life. The object's imputed shape, he said, could be perfectly consistent with that of a light sail of the type that Dr. Loeb and his colleagues in an ambitious project called Breakthrough Starshot hope to send to Alpha Centauri sometime this century. But an international team of comet experts writing in Nature Astronomy in 2019 under the name of the Oumuamua ISSI team concluded that all the data were consistent with a purely natural origin for Oumuamua. Last year, Dr. Lachlan of Yale and his student Daryl Seligman, now at the University of Chicago, suggested that Oumuamua was a primordial iceberg of hydrogen that had formed in the dark, cold center of a molecular cloud, one of the vast assemblages of primordial gas that gave rise to stars. The problem was that it was hard to explain how the hydrogen, which freezes at a temperature around 3 degrees Kelvin, barely above absolute zero, would stay frozen on the long trip from its birth to here. Inspired by the hydrogen ice idea, Dr. Jackson and Dr. Desch investigated other kinds of icebergs that might fill the bill. They finally hit on nitrogen. We've never seen any examples of hydrogen ice in nature, Dr. Desch said in an email. But when the New Horizons spacecraft went past the previously unexplored Pluto in 2015, it found a world awash in nitrogen glaciers. Oumuamua was small, about half as long as a city block and only as thick as a 3-story building. But it was very shiny, they wrote in one of their papers. The shininess is about the same with the surfaces of Pluto and Triton, which are also covered in nitrogen ice. Triton is the moon of Neptune. According to Dr. Desch and Jackson's preferred theory, the young Oumuamua was thrown from a Pluto-like object that was orbiting a distant star about 500 million years ago. It would have been roughly rounded at first, but cosmic rays hacked away as it had moved through space. They estimated that they had lost half of its original mass by the time it entered our solar system in 1995 or thereabouts. Like a bar of soap in the shower, it probably melted to a sliver throughout its orbit around the Sun, according to the experts. By the time it departed the solar system, just 10% would have remained due to the rocket-like impact of nitrogen evaporation. Nitrogen sublimates at about 25 degrees Kelvin, Dr. Desch said. We calculate that Oumuamua reached temperature in the 45 to 50 K range while it rounded the Sun.